Watch. Rogan schools Zuckerberg on big tech's COVID censorship. I lived through the censorship. I lost a full channel because of the censorship. Everything that I've been saying about about COVID over the years turned out to be actually true. Who would have thought? All you have to do is do your own due diligence, and you can find out most of this stuff for yourself. But the mainstream media toted the government's line. It wouldn't be curious or ask questions that citizen journalists like myself would ask. And it was just simple questions that they didn't want answered or they lied about. And everything that they called a conspiracy theory that they censored us on turned out to be true. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna play the clip with Joe Rogan and Zuck. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Red State, and they report that in a tense exchange during their marathon podcast conversation released Friday, I haven't seen it all yet. I'm going to probably dig into it tonight. But Joe Rogan delivered a masterclass in speaking truth to power when Mark Zuckerberg attempted to downplay Meta's role in suppressing COVID treatment information. Uh, the Meta CEO tried to paint the censorship as well intended, claiming, "quote I still think it's good for more people to get the jab." But let's just play the clip here. Here we go.
I was very happy with your announcement. I'm very happy that you took those steps. I'm very happy you brought Dana White aboard.
Oh, he's awesome. Been talking to him for
He's
a
the
while
best.
about that. I mean, he's like, talk about like an amazing entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I just want, like, because I control our company, I have the benefit of not having to convince the board not to fire me, right? It's like a normal corporate environment. It's like basically the CEO just tries to like, they're just trying to convince the board to like let them have their job and pay them more. It's like, all right, the board doesn't pay me except for security, and I'm not worried about losing my job because I control the majority of the voting in the company. So I actually get to use our board to like have the smartest people who I can get to have around me help work on these problems. So it's like, all right, who are the people I want? Like, I just want like the best entrepreneurs and people who've created different things. And like, I mean, Dana's like this guy who, I mean, he basically took the sport from being this like, I think it was viewed as like this pretty marginal thing when he got started, right? I mean, I think John McCain was trying to outlaw it, and now it's like, I think it and F1 are the two fastest growing sports in the world. It's got hundreds of millions of people viewing it. It's like, I mean, what Dana's done with the UFC is like one of the most legendary business stories, and the brand is beloved, and I think he's just so he's like a world class entrepreneur. And he's just like he's got a strong backbone. And I think part of what the conversation that I had with him around joining our board was, okay, like we have a lot of governments and folks around the world putting a lot of pressure on our company. And like, we need some like strong people who are going to basically, help advise us on how to handle some of these situations. And so, yeah, that's, but yeah, I mean, running this company is not for the faint of heart. I mean, there's definitely a lot of pressure from like all these different governments. And then it's like, okay, I could spend all my time doing that, but I'm not even a politician. Like I just want to spend my time building things. Right. So it's, so yeah, I think Dana's going to be great.
He's the best.
Great.
Okay, that had absolutely nothing to do with the COVID conversation. I don't know why they put that. Link there, but maybe it's the next clip. Here we go. Let's play the next clip and see what it says.
If you go back to the COVID example,
here we go.
I think in that case, they were doing something. Their goal of trying to get everyone to get vaccinated was actually, I think, a good goal, right? It's like
it was a good goal if it worked.
Yeah,
if it was
right?
real, like if it was a sterilizing vaccine, if it really did prevent people from getting COVID, if it really did prevent people from infecting others or transmitting it, but it didn't. Well, so it wasn't a good deal because it wasn't based on real data.
Yeah, but also even if it were, right? It's like if I mean, I think that still on balance, knowing everything that we know now, I still think it's good for more people to get the vaccine. But the government's...
Did he not just hear what Joe Rogan said? about it. Joe Rogan said that it doesn't stop transmission. It doesn't stop you from getting it. So what is the point? How is it still? How is Zuckerberg say still a good thing if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do? I don't get it.
Still needs to play by the rules in terms of, not like you can't just suppress true things in order to make your case. So that's kind of my view on it is I'm not sure in that case how much of it was like a personal political gain that they were going for. I think that they had a kind of goal that they thought was in the interests of the country, and the way
No, the goal was to control and manipulate. That was the goal. They don't care. You think the government really care about your health? Do you really believe that? Do you really believe the government cares for your well-being? If that was the case, why on Biden's way out he went and sold he's selling out the border wall material? Why is he basically running us into World War III? Why is he sending more billions and billions of dollars to these countries on his way out the door and trying to Trump proof it so they can continue to get this aid and funding, even though our country is in need of fixed infrastructure? California is burning to the ground. We got all these other things going on. And the government, it doesn't care. It's not doing anything to help. Government is actually harming people. I mean, come on, Zuck. You got to be smarter than that, man.
they went about it, I think, violated the law.
Well, there's a bunch of problems with that, right? There's the emergency use authorization that they needed in order to get this pushed through, and you can't have that without with valid therapeutics being available. And so they suppressed valid therapeutics. So they're suppressing real information that would lead to people being healthy and successful in defeating this disease. And they did that so that they could have this one solution. And this was Fauci's game plan. I mean, this is the
Yep,
movie American Buyers Club, or Dallas
yep.
Buyers Club, rather. That's Fauci in that movie. That was with the AIDS crisis. This is the exact same game plan that was played out with the COVID vaccine. They pushed one solution, this only one, suppressed all therapeutics through propaganda, through
Facts.
suppressing monoclonal antibodies, like
Censorship.
all of it. And that was done, in my opinion, for profit. And they did
Yeah,
that because it was extremely profitable. The amount of money that was made
yeah.
was extraordinary during that time.
Facts. All facts. All facts. This exchange revealed the stark divide between Zuck's corporate spin and the reality of how content moderation was used to shape the pandemic response. While Zuckerberg tried to frame the censorship as serving for the greater good, Rogan exposed how it actually served to create a vaccine monopoly by eliminating discussion of alternative treatments. Like even this video here, I don't know if they're gonna if it's gonna get taken down or not, but um, I'm gonna post it and see what happens because that's true. I mean, they are they create a monopoly because when it comes to when people was talking about alternative treatments that were actually working, they were being censored, they were being attacked by the mainstream media. Remember when Rogan was attacked, and then he brought on Dr. Gupta, and Gupta was basically saying, yeah, these alternative treatments that you're talking about, yeah, they do actually work. You know, and it's crazy. And CNN never apologized for it. They never came out and said, "Well, our bad for attacking people that was taking these alternative therapeutics that turned out to actually work." We never they never apologized to what they said about um, Joe Rogan taking horse tranquilizers and crap like they were calling it horse medicine when humans take this medicine. That was the spin of it. Before conservatives who have warned about the dangers of big tech government collusion, I call it a technocracy, this conversation provided smoking gun evidence. It showed how content moderation policies were used to enforce a single narrative about COVID treatment, even when that meant suppressing legitimate medical information. When companies like Meta can decide what medical information Americans are allowed to discuss, we've moved dangerously far from the principle of free speech and open scientific debate. And that's what science is about. Science is about evidence and it's about debate, not about censoring something that you believe to not be true. Moving forward, this exchange raises crucial questions. How can we prevent similar censorship in a future crisis? Should unelected tech executives have the power to suppress medical information at the government's request? And they were censoring doctors, people that's actually in the field, practicing, seeing these people, looking at people, in the field, like I said, and they were actually censoring these people. The answers to these questions may determine whether Americans remain free to make informed decisions about their own healthcare. Zuckerberg's appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience didn't exonerate him from his censorship sins, but it did remind the public of why we need independent voices like Rogan's to change the official narrative and speak truth to big tech power. And I'm all for it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.